Well, hello everybody. How are you guys doing? I want you to know I love you, and it's time for another Papa story. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you can hear me pretty good because we're all sort of far apart. But it's nice to have Marco Polo to help us out. Now, I've read you a whole bunch of stories, and lately we've been reading Clifford books. In fact, we've got lots of Clifford books. These are all the Clifford books that you've read. Maybe you recognize some of them. When he went to school, he went to the circus. Oh, this was sort of the introduction of who Clifford was. And Clifford had his family. Look at his family. And oh, you remember the firehouse where he helped out at the fire. Well, we've read all those books. We have one more to go. This is Clifford Takes a Trip. We've never read this one together. But before we get started, I want to make sure everybody's there and we can get off to a good start. So, Lily. Hi, Lily. How are you doing? And is Levi around? Is Levi starting to recognize stories? And you guys have your Aunt Megan visiting with you, I heard. I bet you're super excited about that. Aunt Megan is a ton of fun. You're going to enjoy that. And how about Parker? Can you hear me okay, buddy? We had a good visit with Parker and Gemma and Lucy. Lucy was just a ton of fun to be around. But Parker and Gemma and Lucy, can you hear me okay? Say yes. I can hear you, Papa. And then we go over to Puerto Rico. And Isaac, you're probably getting a little bit big for some of these stories, but maybe you think they're scary. Maybe not. Hey, Elise. How you doing, sweetie? And Caleb, my builder buddy. Of course, Parker's my builder buddy too, and maybe Levi will be, and maybe everybody will be. I've been doing a lot of work up at the cabin lately, and it's needed some help, and so it's been fun to do that. And I've sent some pictures on our 9s where we do texting. And let's see, Laura. I want to make sure you can hear me. I hope you like the story today. And who else? See my eyebrows? How about Janae? I wonder if Janae is starting to like these stories. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I've read this book, and it's pretty fun. So you ready? Sit back, relax, get ready for a fun story. Here we go. Clifford Takes a Trip. Look at him sitting on that bus. Do you see the people in the bus? They look a little bit like, what the heck is going on? Clifford doesn't seem to be too concerned. And look at the people on the street. That guy was going to get on the bus. He's probably having second thoughts. Maybe he doesn't want to get on a bus that looks like this. What would you do? Would you get on the bus when Clifford's on top? Well, here we go. Let's start out. Hi, I'm Emily Elizabeth. This is a happy day for me. Do you know why it's such a happy day? Look at Emily Elizabeth. We've seen her in every story. She and Clifford are like the same. They just love being around each other. Well, guess what? This is the last day of school. Summer vacation is here. Now I can play with my dog, Clifford. She's getting out of school. Yeah, you probably are starting to know what that's like. We don't go on long vacations or trips. It's too hard to get Clifford on a bus or on a train. So they say, we just don't go real far because Clifford, it's hard to move him real far. He just doesn't fit. He's so big. Then they say, we only go to places that Clifford can walk to, like picnics in the park. Look at their whole family. Do you see the mom and the dad and Emily Elizabeth? And do you see Clifford? He seems happy. He's walking over to a park. Look, they have a picnic basket. They probably have some good food in there. Look at Clifford's collar. Emily's holding on to his collar, and everybody else is holding on to everybody else. Clifford is happy. Well, let's see what happens next. Uh-oh. Last year was different. Look at what's happening. They're getting ready to go on a trip in their car. Do you think their car's going to fit, Clifford? It says, last year we went to the mountains. That's sort of where the cabin is. Mommy and Daddy said it was too far for Clifford to walk. So Emily's saying, goodbye, Clifford, goodbye. Do you see her holding on to his hand, his arm? And there's the mom and dad. They've got the car all loaded up. They want to go to the mountains. So guess what they did? They left Clifford with a good neighbor. And you see the mom and the kid, and they're trying to feed and be nice to Clifford. Does Clifford look happy? Gemma or Lily, does he look happy? He looks pretty sad. Even though these are really nice people and they want him to feel really good, it's just not the same. Uh-oh. That night, Clifford was so lonely, he started to howl. Do you know what howling is? Sometimes you hear dogs howl. They go, woo, 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 woo. And they can keep everybody awake at night. So he began to howl, and he howled, and he howled, and he howled, and he kept howling. Look at him. He's just going, woo, woo, woo. It's like, I'm lonely, I'm lonely. And look at all the houses. They still have lights on, but it's nighttime. I think he's keeping them awake. Until someone threw a shoe at him. Look at that shoe. And they said the shoe didn't really hurt Clifford's nose, but it did hurt his feelings. He felt really sad. So look at his eyes. He's starting to cry. And look at the people in the windows. They're yelling at him like, be quiet, we can't go to sleep. He was feeling so bad. Do you like seeing Clifford so sad? He's not normally very sad. Well, guess what happened next? The next morning, Clifford set out to find us. He sniffed his way along the road. Let me tell you something about dogs and a lot of animals. They can smell really good, much better than you can smell. They could smell a hamburger a mile away. You can't smell a hamburger a mile away. They can just smell really good. And people have a little bit of a smell. And so he was smelling the ground to see where they'd been. And dogs are really good at this. So he's starting to leave his house, and he decided he's going to try to find them. He doesn't know where they went. Maybe you heard him say they're going to the mountains, but that could be anywhere. So here he is, sniffing, and he catches where he thinks they smell. It's like, that's the smell of Emily and her family. And look what he does. He starts to go, he takes them on the road. That's where their car went. He's smelling so close to the ground. He can smell. It's almost like if I left something really good for you to smell and just placed it one after the other. You could, even with your eyes closed, you could follow that because your smeller could smell that. A dog smeller is super good. So Clifford didn't mean to make trouble, But a lot of people had never seen a big red dog before. Look at the people. All their cars, they turned off the road. They were scared. They thought, what is this? And there goes Clifford. What's he looking for? He's looking for Emily and her family. Do you think he's going to find them? He's just using his nose. Wouldn't it be nice to have a nose that was so good, like a dog, that you could find people even with your eyes closed? Well, Clifford kept going. Nothing could stop him. Look, he jumps over a bridge. Look at the people looking at him. Oh my, and there's a bus. He jumped right over. He keeps smelling and going. And they say nothing can stop Clifford. He wants to find his family. And then he saw a little old man trying to fix his truck. Look at this. They got a bad tire, and he's trying, and he's old, and it's hard to use the jack to lift the car. And this man is feeling not real good. But look at his truck. It says groceries and meats. I bet it's full of good food. This man probably drives his van around and takes stuff to grocery stores. And I bet that van is full of good food. We ought to see what happens. Look at Clifford. He stops. They said nothing could stop Clifford, but he saw somebody who needed help, so what did he do? When you see somebody that needs help, what do? Do you keep going or do you stop? I hope you stop and tell them you want to help them. That's about loving our neighbors. That's what Jesus wanted us to do. Look what Clifford did. He picked up the car, that whole van. It's probably still full of good food. He picked it up, and look where the driver is. And he's even got the tire with him. And they're going. So it says Clifford stopped and helped him. He took the little old man and the car to a garage. So now you see there's a man working on the tire on the van, getting it all fixed, and here's the little man that owns that van. And what did he do? Look what he threw in Clifford's mouth. All kinds of meat and different things. Look at that. He did. Clifford is so big, it takes a lot to feed Clifford. And I bet after a while, Clifford was getting hungry. So even though he stopped to help somebody, it worked out good for him too. Look at all that food. That man was so appreciative. He was so glad that Clifford helped him. So now Clifford is all feeling good and full again. Then Clifford set out again. Look at him. Oh, and he even walked through wet cement. Uh-oh, it got on his hands. Look at his paws. He didn't realize it was wet. He just kept going because that's where he'd smelled the car. He even went through traffic jams by stepping around all the different cars. Look at all the cars, they're all jammed up. He just sort of gently tries to walk past them. He tiptoed over all the cars. Oh, but then he ran into a problem. What kind of a problem can you have on a big road? We're gonna find out. He got to a bridge. And the bridge, in this case, you have to pay money to get across the bridge. Look at Clifford. He looks like, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? I don't have any money. And the police officer won't let me keep going, and the toll booth guy won't let him go either. They are putting out their hands like you need to pay to go on the bridge. Look at Clifford. What is Clifford gonna do? He wants to go find his family. Let's think about this for a minute. What could Clifford do? Guess what he did? Can you guess? Can you guess? Laura, Caleb, are you guys thinking? What could he do? Well, that bridge went over a lot of water. And guess what Clifford did? He said, "Fine, I don't need to go on your bridge." And he walked down and he swam clear across the water. And it was far. But most dogs know how to swim. They're just born knowing how to swim. If you throw a dog in water, it'll usually just start swimming. And it's sort of cute. They do this, they call it a dog paddle. And they just sort of do their, in fact, we had a dog named Drewski. He died a while back, but he was a wonderful dog. We could pick him up and put him over water, and even when he was this far away from the water, he was totally dry, his legs would start going. And it was so cute to watch him. We'd pick him up and carry him out, and his legs would start going and going. Can you try this? This is a dog paddle. So he'd get in the water and he'd just sort of do this. Can you see what I'm doing? That's exactly what he did, and that's what Clifford is doing. They do it automatically. They really don't even have to think about it. So there was a bridge that needed money. Clifford's pretty smart. He went right around it. Here's Emily Elizabeth and her family. They're up in the mountains. Look at their car, their tent. Do you see a fire? And they're cooking over the fire with a pan. Oh, look at what they're doing. Looks like they're having a great time. They have no idea that Clifford is trying to find them. They have no idea. Well, while Emily was up there, she saw something that she couldn't resist. It was a little bit dangerous. Guess what she did? She found two bears, baby bears. These are little dinky bears. And she thought they were so cute. She went to hug them, and she was being nice to them. And look at the two bears. She really enjoyed this. But guess what? Mama bears don't like that. And look at the mama bear. She goes, "No, no, those are my babies. Don't hurt them." But mama bear didn't know Emily was being nice to him. She thought Emily was hurting him. So the mama bear come running in, and bears are super strong. Super strong. If you lock your car door, they can just pull the door off. They are super strong. So when Mama Bear's upset, Emily could be in a lot of trouble because they don't know how to talk to each other. So Emily got herself in a lot of trouble. What's going to happen? No, it's the worst thing. The mama bear came and grabbed Emily. Oh no, Emily is grabbed. What's going to happen? And look at the other bears. Right now, Emily must realize, oh my gosh, I was just trying to be nice to two little baby bears that are so cute and fluffy. I didn't know there was a big mama bear that would be upset at me. Uh-oh, guess what happened next? Whose nose is that and whose teeth is that? Parker, Lily, Gemma, whose nose and teeth is that? And look at the bear. And the bear is still holding Emily. Uh-oh. The mama bear was growling. And all of a sudden, they heard a louder growl. Roar! Was Clifford trying to help Emily? Yeah. How does the mama bear feel now? Oh no! So let's see what happens. This is getting sort of scary. Mama bear was really surprised. So she dropped Emily right away. And there's the cute little baby bears. Do you see the cute little baby bears? I don't think they know what's going on. There's Clifford. Does Clifford look happy? Clifford looks like, I'm gonna make sure Emily doesn't get hurt. And look at Clifford. And that mama bear decided, uh-oh. But then Emily said that the mama ran off and even forgot the babies. So the babies were there and the mama got so scared, took off for a moment. But then I told Clifford that the mama bear was only protecting her children. She didn't want anything bad to happen to her little babies. Do you see the two little baby bears? And Emily told Clifford, the mama bear, don't hurt the mama bear. The mama bear was only trying to be good to and protect her babies. So guess what happens next? Good old Clifford took those baby bears for a ride all the way up a tree to where the mama bear was, way up in a tree. Bears can climb trees about as fast as they can run. They can go right up a tree. And they are very strong and very fast. And it seems like going up a tree, they can just go up a tree like it's nothing. And if you think you're a good tree climber, a bear could run right past you, going straight up a tree. I've seen them go up, and it's amazing what a bear can do. So the mama bear was way up in a tree, but Clifford and Emily took the baby bears to the mama bear. Wasn't that nice? Clifford understood right away. And then he took us back to camp, and Mom and Dad were so surprised to see Clifford. Look at that. And look at, they've got the mama bear and the baby bears and Emily. They're all on Clifford's back. And look at the mom and dad. They didn't know Clifford was coming. They left Clifford with the babysitter. And Clifford used his nose. Wouldn't it be nice to smell that good that when a car drove off, you could close your eyes and smell and follow the car? Wow. Well, Clifford surprised him, and he was back there with him. So I told my parents, said Emily, how Clifford had saved us all. And there's Clifford, and there's the dad shaking hands, and they're happy that Emily's okay. Look at the mommy and Emily. And look at the big mama bear with the two cubs waving and being grateful too. And it looks like they're just going to slide down Clifford's back. Wouldn't it be fun to slide down Clifford's back? Could you imagine having Clifford in your backyard? Holy cows, that would be fun. So that evening, they let Clifford stay with us. Look at Clifford. Oh, where's Emily? She found a bed right in his paws and in his tail. She's sleeping. That's a pretty safe place to sleep. I can't think of a safer place for Emily if she's sleeping outside to sleep cuddled up there with Clifford. And look at the parents. They're saying good night, good night. Well, guess what? Next year, maybe we'll find a way to take Clifford with us when we go on vacation. They'll have to find a big, big truck maybe to let Clifford come. Look at that. They're thinking about the future, so they'd be driving a truck. But that's a pretty cool story. They went up in the mountains, and Clifford found them and even protected them and was still nice to the mama bear and the baby bears. Well, I love you. I hope you enjoyed the story. Look at this. We have finished all these books. And we've done more books. These are just the Clifford books. I can hardly hold them all. And here was the last one. It's called Clifford Takes a Trip. Well, I hope you're doing good. And I want to finish with one thing.
I love you so much.